diagnostic tools. This guy has diagnostic tools?
Well, yeah. I really should be wearing my hard hat too.
Oh my God.
Forbid a branch
Oh my
fall.
God. What's up? This is Keith Kalfas, and in this vlog today we have a very special guest for you, Mr. Rico Suave.
What's up, everybody?
And this guy is an absolute genius and mentor of mine. Wait, this just happened yesterday?
Yeah. So I was going to see one of my mentors across the street from the Oakland County Airport, and I went to turn into the lane, and a guy in a landscape truck actually clipped me. And there you have it. It's all minor cosmetic.
Wait a second. I know this is... We're gonna have to do the slow-mo. 3, 2, 1.
I just wanted him to fill out his timesheet, that's all. Because I know you guys are working a little bit over there, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure he just put his hours down, that's all.
This guy is legit. He's legit. That's why I want to interview him on the channel, because this dude is like literally going to his... I'm just gonna shut up. I've called this guy up when I was confused about some tree stuff, and this guy will literally scare you about how important it is what we're doing. This is Angela, Rico Suave's wife. Okay.
So what do you know about what's going on back here? If you were gonna explain to somebody what happened back here, what would you say? Other than the obvious. Take it one step beyond the obvious. What happened here? What did they do?
I'd say that they literally killed all the trees, which affected the wildlife, and they're probably gonna build stuff here and develop stuff. And
okay, this is part of the urban forest. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So this is a stand of trees that was here for quite a while, and what they did was they went through and they did what's kind of like a select thinning. But when they did that, they damaged the trees around them. The first thing that's going to happen is a lot of these trees in the next storm are probably going to blow over. Why is that? Because all these trees protected each other, so their roots are very shallow. So we don't think about that when we do things like this in the urban forest in terms of development. So the next big storm that comes through, or a few storms from now, a lot of these trees will end up coming down. Number two, what do they do? They came through here and they compacted the soil. They've taken all of the pore space out of the soil. So now we can't get oxygen in there, we can't get water in there. Number three, what did they do? Look at the construction damage. The tree was hit.
yeah, they were ripping branches off with the machine, just ripping them right off the tree, right?
And you know what kind of tree that is? That's a red oak. And you know what season we're in right now? We're in the summertime, which makes this tree now susceptible to oak wilt, something that's a real big problem in Michigan specifically.
Oh yeah, oak wilt is where the tree gets, the whole system gets infected from
Oak wilt is a vascular disease, so the fungus gets into the vascular system of the tree and basically plugs it up. It's almost like if we put Play-Doh or putty in your veins, and then you just can't uptake any nutrients or anything like that anymore.
Wow.
If this was done in the dormant season, it's not as bad. If it was done right now, it's really bad. Because what happens when these red oaks, when they get wounded, like here and farther up in the tree, and the tree that's over beyond this point that you probably can't see, but what happens is the sap comes out, and then there's a beetle that has a fungus on it that then comes to get sap, basically drink the sap, eat the sap, and that fungus transfers from the insect and goes into the tree, then it goes into the vascular system, and it can kill the tree in 2 months. Stone dead. Happens a lot. And the really bad thing is the roots, if they're grafted under the ground, it can go from tree to tree to tree to tree in regards to this particular variety of trees.
So you mean to tell me if you're a landscaper or a tree trimmer and you're trimming these trees,
you could actually do some damage. So it's great that we get get out of our own way, escape the employee landscaping trap. That's excellent that we do that. But what do we do once we escape it? What do we do when we get to that point? Listen, not everybody knows everything, especially in the beginning. The most important thing is that you keep going with your education. You keep continuing to learn so that you make informed, educated decisions and do the right thing for the environment and the green space around you. Be a proactive steward of the urban environment. I'm not saying education's bad, traditional education, but if you don't do well on those platforms and you decide that you're going to escape the employee landscaping trap or you're going to start your own thing, keep going with the education. That's what's key. Once we get to that spot, what do you do so that you make sure you're doing it right? Because that's what's really key. Get out of your own way. Rip the back seats out of your mom's Kia if that's what you got to do. Do whatever you have to do. But once you get started and once you gain some traction, make sure that the way you're doing it is the right way to doing it. And that takes time and that takes skill, and you can't give up. And not everybody knows everything. That's all understandable. What's not understandable is if you just decide that you're going to do what you see someone else doing and the money's coming in and you think that that's the right way to do it, because it's not the right way to do it. And people like me with credentials like that eventually may come behind you and hold you to task because of legal issues. You may be called in when something's ruined. There's an insurance claim because you did something bad. You get held accountable for that. So don't put yourself in that position. You may have to start out by putting yourself in that position, but you don't have to stay there. And that's what's key.
I'm taking this very serious right now. I'm glad you were here. Thank you.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Our industry of arboriculture, which is, things, trees and green spaces, is a great platform to learn more. And it's important that we always continue our education.
Dude's legit, and I love that tree of life, bro.
It's actually a diagnostic tool. So you know how they say you can't see the forest through the trees?
Yeah.
So it's got the design on it, but when you hold it up to your eye, you can't see all that stuff that's in there, which is the tree, and it's a magnifying glass.
Oh.
So I can look at, bugs and diseases and things.
It's a magnifying glass.
It's a magnifying glass.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there's a long wait here, so I guess we're going to go to Sahara to get some delicious Mediterranean, Middle Eastern food. All right, go.
All right, so like I was talking about raising professionalism in our industry of tree work. I am a TCIA CTSP. So the TCIA is the Tree Care Industry Association, and a CTSP is a special certification which designates a person as a certified tree safety professional. So I'm in this Facebook group and I made a post. Now, the important thing is that I'm not trying to bash anybody. When I took this video of this person doing this dangerous feat, which I'm about to show you, I was not a CTSP. I knew enough not to do what he's doing, and the important part was that I wanted to separate myself from people who do this kind of work, who either do it because they don't want to learn a better way or they just don't care.
He's what?
He's 10 feet above the roof line of that house.
Yeah.
Removing a white pine.
Yeah.
And he's not tied in at all.
Oh, he's not?
No. Watch, he's going to climb over the boughs. See him?
Yeah. Wow, is he going to fall?
No.
Yeah, that's totally unsafe.
The combos don't come with hummus or anything.
But maybe he doesn't know. That's my mission. Maybe he doesn't know.
Oh, and all these people say, oh, look at this idiot. But you might...
Right, yeah, don't say that. Yeah, don't say, look at this idiot.
Yeah.
Say, look at that guy, maybe he doesn't know. What can we do to help him so that he can raise his professionalism, so that he can do better?
I love this, dude. Bill Murray recently, he said in a post, social media is training us to compare versus teaching us to appreciate.
Summer last year, so I've been devising this plan of how to get the entire stump
tree roots
out of the ground, which we successfully did today, and then we air spaded a lot of dirt off.
Air spading?
too often in the urban forest these days. So here we have a maple tree that was buried way too deep with mulch. But beyond that, once we pulled the mulch away and we tried to expose the flare, what we're finding is that actually when it was planted, the top of the soil from the nursery was never removed. And what we have is a girdling root. So this girdling root actually started in the nursery. So it's really important when we're harvesting trees that these that the topsoil that goes on top of the root flare is removed, and that just happens through cultivation practices. That's not totally uncommon, but when they're being harvested, it's really important that it's being removed. So I do these snippets. No, it's not posted.
So you need to be posting all this stuff to Instagram. Dude, this is... Bro.
Here, watch this.
Oh, God.
Why trees die in the urban forest. Why root collar excavations are necessary. Here we have a parkway planting of a London plane tree. They've cut the sod.
Well, that's all you're going to get? What did you say? We're going to look some tree. Pear trellis rust is what?
Yeah, pear trellis rust is a disease. It's a fungal disease that affects pear trees. It's really bad in Michigan, and it's one of the reasons why we need to not plant monocultures when we're doing new developments. So we're about to go look at a new development, and the first thing I saw when driving in was that that's what they have. They have a monoculture. They have nothing but pear trees planted all over the property.
Oh, so you need more tree diversity.
Yeah, you need tree diversity,
so
right. There's a percentage calculation for that, how many trees, family, genus, species. That's
so it
really
doesn't
important.
wipe out all the trees, okay.
No, arboriculture is about the right tree in the right place. Like across the street we have some Colorado blue spruce. What's the optimal word in what I just said? Colorado blue spruce. Colorado's very dry, very arid, low humidity. And what do we have here in the Midwest? High humidity, lots of moisture. The trees don't like it that way. And when you turn around and you bury the root flares on top of that, so when you bury the tree, it becomes susceptible to all kinds of diseases because they're stressed. I mean, here we have a tree where you can see the burlap is out of the ground. This acts as almost as a wick. It wicks moisture right out of the ground. Here's the top ring of the basket. I'm not saying take the whole basket off because you don't want to ruin the structural integrity of the root ball either. And as a landscaper, if you do that, a lot of times the nursery is not going to honor a warranty. They're going to say you removed everything, all the packaging, so we're not going to honor it. But to do the right thing and to have lower rates of replacement, you really got to do the right thing. You got to take this off. It's going to degrade.
So
it's
you
going to
got to
go
take
away.
all the burlap off a tree.
At least the top part.
At least the top part?
And then the top ring of the basket.
So did they do this here? It looks like they pulled it back.
They pulled it back, but it's sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
Which means that now it's like a wick. So if I pull out some of my diagnostic tools.
Diagnostic tools?
And we start to carefully pull away.
This guy has diagnostic tools?
Well, yeah. I really should be wearing my hard hat too.
Oh my God.
Forbid a branch
Oh my
fall
God.
out of the
We got to do some slow-mo B-roll.
I am a CTSP.
3,
2, 1.
To plant this tree, and he charged me $732.19, and that was 3 years ago, and all of a sudden the tree don't look good. And you're a tree guy, what's going on with the tree? And I come up and I see all that mulch, and I do my little diagnostic, and I find out the thing's 12 inches buried too deep. That's a problem. But you know what?
So that's why the top of the tree is dying.
That's why the top of the tree is dying. The tree can't breathe. Yeah.
Wow.
Plus it has limited root space. There's another problem. How much room does it have to grow? It's hitting the curb over there, it's hitting the curb over there, and then all the crap that's in this island right here is all excavated from God knows where. It's not soil. Soil is alive. It's teeming with life. Dirt is dead. You know that when you put a shovel in the ground, you should pull out at least a shovel full of dirt should have 10 worms in it. 10 worms. Yeah, because they poop and then they move all around and they keep the soil from compacting. Yeah.
I have somewhat of a valid argument about the trees in these subdivisions and places are for aesthetics, so they look good, And I'm sure there's part of being a builder that you have to play your part and plant trees if you're going to rip something down.
Yes, but see, the builder doesn't confer with someone like me, the arborist. You know, I'm thinking about 20, 25 years down the road.
Oh, so I'm just looking at, oh, these are just aesthetics and the customer likes it because it looks good for landscaping and they can get it trimmed how they want to get trimmed. Sometimes I think like, man, these arborists, this is what the homeowner wants and this is how I make money because they don't give a crap about that. But we're in an urban area, but it is important because the urban area is the natural area that we've taken over and these trees need to be healthy.
Right. Absolutely. And from a builder's perspective or a developer's perspective, the county, local government, municipality, they may mandate to them, if you remove X amount of canopy coverage, you have to replace it with X amount of canopy coverage, and it's got to live for X amount of time. So when a development gets started, they're in charge of everything on that development as far as all the green space until it's built out. And then something called an HOA or a homeowners association then takes over. And the problem is, by the time a place gets built out 5, 6, 7, 10 years later, the HOA is stuck with huge problems. So as arborists, we want to work with them so that they know what they're facing. You know, there's dollar value on trees. Trees actually have dollar value based on the variety, the species, the location it's in, the size of it is. There's dollars you can actually put on a tree as to its value. And that helps if they're trying to get loans.
The sun's going down. Like, we got an hour drive back to my house, so I'll see you back at my house. So this is one of your skid steers?
Yeah.
You got 4 skid steers.
4 skid steers. There's only 3 in this picture.
You got what, a tree spade?
I got 8 of those.
You got 8 tree spades.
Yeah.
How many? 4 skid steers. Show me your dump trailer. And you got a lift? A nifty lift, or what is it?
Yeah, I'll show you the nifty lift.
That's your dump trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in deep, huh?
Oh, yeah. I've been in deeper, though.
Oh, wow, it fits their 36-inch gate?
So the tracks go in. That was 36.
Pretty dope. There, this guy is telling me some stuff. So he's sitting there, there's a picture in his nifty, like you're trimming these huge cedars 40 feet up.
Right.
And
we're trying to get them to fill back out. There's a hormone called an auxin that's in the top. And basically if you cut 6 to 8 inches off, you're trying to trick the plant to stop growing up as much and start growing out more. And we're hoping that they'll fill in. But, you know, they're old, they're senescing. Senescing is just a fancy word we use in arboriculture to say getting old and about to be dead. So, when a customer says, why is it going to cost me $1,200 to prune that tree, we don't use words like trim. We use words like prune, and when we talk about why that tree is in decline, not that it's dying, we use words like senescing instead of, hey, it's just getting old and dying. It just sounds a little bit fancy.
Wait a second, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Oh, it's a houseplant. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, this houseplant, but look, how is this thing so big? And look at that. Do we need to transplant it to a bigger pot?
Yes, it's root bound.
It's root bound.
Right. Now when you deal with a plant that's root bound, you know, they used to say to cut down the sides, right? Score it.
Okay.
It's called scoring, right? When you plant a plant that comes out of a pot before you put it in the ground. Dr. Ed Gilman from the University of Florida, I've seen him talk. He actually says to take a shovel and shave the sides. So if this is the ball that comes out of the pot, instead of doing this thing where we cut down the sides, you actually want to shave all of this off down. And the reason for that is any roots that might be going in a circle, when you cut this way, you cut all them off. Where before the thought process was cut them, make these slits down the side, but the roots are still going to go around and around in circles. You know, and that cutting down the side, that scoring, is a step up from what we used to recommend to do, which is called butterflying. We'd actually quarter the ball in 4 pieces coming out of the pot, and then we'd spread all that out and throw that in the hole with some dirt under the bottom. Arboriculture's come a long way in the last 15 years. I mean, it's really like hyper moved along in the last 5. But the only way you're going to learn that stuff is getting certified, going to conferences, and investing in yourself. I think I invested like $10,000 last year in continuing education for me and some of my guys. I mean, it's really important. I'm going to go to the International Society of Arboriculture conference in Columbus. I'll be there August 5th through the 8th. And tickets to that are like $600-700. The hotel for those couple of days is like $1,200. I mean, that's like a vet payment for a couple of months. I wish I could do it, but it's more important for me to invest in the education, because that's what's going to separate us out from everyone else.
Wow. All right, so that was awesome. There's so much more. We can make 20 hours of videos. We've eaten good food. We've done some work. I'm learning a ton hanging out with this guy. Check out him on Facebook, Daniel Miraval. He's got a YouTube channel as well. That'll be in the future. I will put it in a link in the description below. Check out the International Society of Arboriculture. What are the other ones?
The Tree Care Industry Association, which is actually that one. So this one is plant healthcare technician specialist, and this one is a certified tree safety professional. There's only about 2,500 of us between the United States and Canada. And then this is the International Society of Arboriculture and Certified Arborist.
Cool.
No, that doesn't mean that I know everything. It just means that I've...
Okay, and this dude's got like 12 to 30 employees, depending on how busy they are. He's got tons of equipment, so I'm pretty stoked in asking him a whole bunch of questions. Pretty wise guy about business. But anyways, that's the end of this vlog. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up, and let us know in the comments below if you are an arborist or looking to become one. Let me know in the comments below, and I just might pin your comment so everybody can see it, because it's very important that we all become aware of this very quickly, especially me. All right, see you in the next vlog. Peace.